Amen. Thank you. All right. I get a squeeze now. So I get a later. All right. Come on in. Welcome. All right. So she's not just saying that you guys are amazing. She's not just saying that now, because I check on her regularly to make sure, do I need to come back? She's like, no, honestly, it's going great. And I'm like, really? I'm shocked. I'm like, really? She's like, yes, it's going really good. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, how I got here, but I'm also going to tell you what it takes to stay here and be happy at what you're doing. Because sometimes it can become a struggle. You know the days where you want to do this and tell a kid to lean in, and you just like lean right here, right at they just getting to you. So I was that little kid that thought the world should be painted orange. I thought everything should be painted orange, and I didn't see a reason why not. I have a crayon, it's paper, color it orange. And then I got to about 3rd or 4th grade, and they was like, why would you paint an elephant orange? Elephants aren't orange? They can be. And they're like, no. So the teacher started correcting me along with the kids. And then every time I did something that I thought was just great, I felt like I was getting put more and more in a box. And I started to question, like, well, am I not right? What type of kid, am I not fitting in? And then when other kids started judging me, I started changing. I started becoming who they thought I should be. So that was around 3rd or 4th grade. So by the time I got to middle school, I was full-blown somebody else, not who my parents raised me to be. I wasn't bad. I was just, I wasn't the person that they thought I should have been. So I'm having a ball. I'm doing my thing, right? So it started at about 3rd, 4th grade, and I got to high school, and I was having a good time in high school, right? Now, don't judge me. You said they wouldn't judge me, so if they judge me, right. So I got to high school, and I was doing it. I made memories in high school. I had an amazing time in high school. And then came graduation day, I was chilling, sitting in the parking lot, music in the car. Me and my friends, we bumping. We in the car like, yeah, we got this. I was like, oh, her mama fat? Look at her. I was like, oh, my God. See, her grandmama ugly. Look at her grandma. We in the car cracking up. We in the car just talking about people. Then once everybody went in, all the pomp and circumstance, they had on caps and gowns and everybody was dressed up. They went into graduation. Cool. We pulled off. And we just hung out and we kicked it. Some of y'all faces looking like, wait, what? Yeah, I didn't go in. I didn't graduate on time. I graduated out of summer school because I was not on point. Because you can't flunk English your senior year. But I was winning. You can't tell me I wasn't winning. I took that same winning mindset to college. And I went to college and I found me some more winning friends. Yep. But my parents sent me to college. I had the cutest room for a freshman. My parents still took care of me. We didn't have a trunk party, though. You know that they had a trunk party to give you all this stuff? No, we had Zayres. Anybody remember Zayre? Oh, okay. Okay. See, I got people in the room now. I know. We had Zayres, and we went to Zayres, and we got what I needed for school. And I went to school, and I did a thing. My room was cute. I had Garfield everywhere. Everything was Garfield. It was so cute. And then I just went. We had a good time. I slept all day. I ate. I knew when the cafeteria opened, and I got up, and I went to eat. I was good. I promise you I was good. Didn't quite make it to class because my nights choked out my mornings. And see, when I registered for school, somebody should tell people going to college, you can't get up at 8 o'clock when your parents ain't there. And I thought I could take these 8 o'clock classes. I've been getting up for 7:30, 8 o'clock classes all my life, right? And I went to college and I had that mindset. And when I got to college, I was like, all right, found my winning friends and we kicked it. Had a ball. When I had, baby, that's another time and place. But I'll tell y'all some memories, they good. They was good to me. I got my report card. I was like, yes, yes. You know it come in your name when you get to college because you grown. Right? So I opened my report card. I was like, okay. Got down there where it said cumulative GPA, 0.923. Who judged me? I heard it. She said, I did. I judged you. You know what? The truth. Come on. Ain't nothing like the truth. I'm just saying. You grown. We can fight. You know that, right? I'm just saying. Because she went, I heard it in her spirit. All this went, like, okay, Anissa, why she talking to us? She had a 0.923. But that's okay, because I got it together. I told my parents, you know how when you know you're wrong, you go in with the story ready? You're not even waiting on them. I said, I know. I got the 0.923, but what I'm going to do when I go back, I got a plan. I'm going to class. I'm going to set my alarm. I got it all together. And you know what? I got everything. I got everything together. So I went back. I was on point. I would get up. Now I'm going to class. See, and my plan was not do the work, but go to class. I went to class. I had a 1.443. Yeah.
Getting there. Okay. All right.
Who is this? So it came out and it said I had the 1.443, and then it was at the bottom, academic suspension. I'm like, okay, suspended mean can't go. Academic, my grade. Okay, so I got invited to not return. Yeah, and that's my pretty way of saying I flunked out of college. That's what happened. I got invited to not return. So I figured I'm gonna get me a job. I'm good. I can go to Zaire's. I can go wherever and get me a job. I'm cool. So I got, again, report card came. My father, man of few words, plan didn't work. Now it's time for my plan. I'm thinking, does that involve killing me? What does that really involve? Because see, at the point when I went to college, I didn't understand that if you flunk a class, that's called a donation. You donate the money to the university, but they didn't explain that to me. I didn't get that because I wasn't paying it, so I didn't know that I really just donated $14,000 to the university. My father was like, I could have just wrote a check. You didn't have to go through all of this. Not a problem. My father said, so what school you going to now? I'm thinking I flunked out. I'm good. He was like, pick another one. It's a lot of them. Find one. Let's go. I'm like, oh. Now, I was raised in Chicago. Well, I was really raised in Bellwood, right outside of Chicago. And then there was a school downtown called Luke Junior College. They call it Harold Washington Junior College now. But, see, there you go. And for me, I don't know why. We were living in Bellwood. I have no clue why I picked the school in the city. Because I had to take the L, I had to take the bus, and I had to walk. I don't know why. Like, you passed up about 15 colleges to get there. I mean, literally, every day, rain, sleet, and snow. So I had to go there to get my GPA back up to petition to get back into the college that once invited me to go there. I had to do it. So when I finally got myself together and I did that, man, that's when I realized that I was winning and losing. Because all the time I thought I was winning. But all my friends that I was winning with, they was back at school. But see, you know what I didn't know? I didn't know them jokers was getting up every morning, going to class and coming back, getting in the bed. So when I got up at 11 o'clock, they sleep too. We all getting up, going to the caf to eat. Them suckers then went to class and came back. I slept through the whole time. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But when I got back in, I moved to the other side of campus. I moved to a 24-hour quiet floor. All you heard, shh, the whole time. 24, it was 24/6. So you had one day where you could talk. And you only could talk to 6 o'clock. And you walk on the floor, it was shh, the whole time. Your music can be loud. If they could walk past your door and they could hear anything coming out of your room, they would knock on it. You need to turn it down. I needed that, though. Because, see, I talked too much my first year. The whole year I talked too much. So I was like, all right, cool. So I got back in. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not talking to people. I'm doing my work. Like, I'm doing my work. I'm grinding. And I ended up graduating with over a 3.1. Now, thank you. I need that. I'm going to need you to clap a little harder, though, because you was at me in the beginning. Now, got you. Right. So I graduated. So now it's like, what would you major in, right? I majored in education. And it was like, why did I major in education? Well, it's teachers all in my family. We teachers and police officers in my entire family. That's pretty much what we do. So, of course, I wanted to be an educator. I have been around educators all my life because I can't shoot a gun, so I wasn't going to do the police thing. So I was like, all right. So I'm now teaching, and I'm getting ready to teach. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited because my father knew people, right? And he's like, oh, I'm going to get you a job. I'm like, okay, let's go. I ain't got to fill out an application. I'm in. You know, you feel like you're really entitled, and then you like, yes. So he explained, you'll be teaching up north. I was like, oh. My friends, you know, they just get out of school. They was like, so where you going? I'll be teaching up north. You know, I got a little up north, you know. I'll be up north. Where will you be teaching? Oh, you're in the suburbs. I'll be up north. It's okay. So I'm getting ready for work. So the night before, I'm getting ready for work, and I'm like, my mother folding clothes, she doing laundry. I go in there. I'm like, okay. My mother taught for 35 years. She got it. She got what I need. Tell me, if you could give me some advice, what would it be? Talk to me. You know, it's the first day of school the next day. My clothes are ironed and laid out. Y'all know, come on. Y'all ain't got to admit to it. When you first started, you was like, now you just get up and roll out. But I'm just saying, I can see it, but that ain't what I'm here for. My clothes laid out, and I'm like, let's go. She said, she folded the clothes, she finished. She grabbed the basket. She said, don't eat in the teacher's lounge. Is the food nasty? She was like, girl, just don't eat in there. I'm like, don't eat in the teacher's lounge. I was like, all right, cool. I just won't eat in the teacher's lounge. I don't know what happens in the teacher's lounge, but I ain't eating in there. So cool. 5 years, I did not eat in the teacher's lounge. Nope, not going to the teacher's lounge. I was so smooth with it. And I didn't even tell nobody why. I had people come to my room and eat. My room was the spot. You know, teacher's lounge turned to my room. Like, let's go. We eating in my room. Sometimes I'd be like, I'm buying drinks. I got the Pepsi. I got all that. Buy the snacks. I would do all of that. We'd be in my room. And one day, I forgot to bring the snacks. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to treat. I'm going to get everybody a pop. Wasn't but 3 of us. Like, it was a party, right? And I was like, come on, what you want? You want the Coke? You want orange? I got it. I'm going to get a Pepsi. I go in the teacher's lounge, and I'm at the vending machine. I'm like, okay, Coke, yeah. Yeah, you know Marcus' mama. His mama sleeping with so-and-so. I'm over at the pump machine. What? Yeah, I got the twins. They put both of them in my room. Both of them dyslexic. I can't deal with dyslexic twins. And they talk, well, you know the principal don't care about nobody. Let me get my pop, Jesus. Let me get my stuff. Let me go. And I started moving. And I got out and I said, ha, yes. And they was like, what's wrong with you, Miss Humphrey? You okay? You dropped? I ain't dropped nothing. I heard my mother say, don't eat in a teacher's lounge. And she wasn't talking about the food. She was talking about the conversation and the energy in the teacher's lounge. But it took me 5 years to get it. Because see, had she told me, I would have went in there to test it. Like, she lying. And it might have been a day where nobody was talking about nothing. And I would have got sucked in. But the curiosity of her just saying, don't do it, I was like, I better not. Instead of her telling me what was happening in there. And I was like, wow, I promise you I never ate in the teacher's lounge. Never ate in the teacher's lounge. So I go to work. Well, I'm driving my first day. Let me give you that. First day I'm driving because I'm going up north. Told y'all that, right? I'm on my way up north and I'm driving. And I'm like, this is awesome, right off Lakeshore Drive. This is just, oh my God, because I'm from the suburbs, so I'm having an awesome time, and I'm like, okay, this is great. I must have made a wrong turn. Let me turn around. Let me turn. I started looking at the numbers on my paper, because see, we didn't have GPS, all that back then. I'm looking at the numbers on my paper, and I'm looking at the numbers on the building, and I'm looking at the numbers on my paper, and I'm looking at the numbers on the building. Then I'm looking at the building across the street from the building where they want me to, that match though, but that don't match what I know in here because they don't have windows. So where am I? So I go back around, and then I see the sign that says, welcome to Cabrini Green. Cabrini Green, that's not my paper. Okay. They don't have windows, though. They have bars over. I'm from the suburbs. I'm teaching up north. This crazy. And grown people standing out with their pants sagging. Grown people with tattoos on their neck and their face. Grown people. And I'm like, females, males, and I'm like, I'm in the... And I walked inside of the building, and the love that was inside of the building was so amazing. So amazing. I spent my first 7 years teaching in Cabrini Green. I taught in the whites, not the reds. If you know anything about the projects, everything, there you go. So let me tell you what that means. The bricks on the outside of the building are ivory, white, and then down the street, which you can see adjacent, the bricks on the building were red. So, and they would fight until there was a peace treaty. But they would fight and shoot at each other and kill each other. But literally, I taught in the whites. And I went to work every day and loved every single day. And after my first year teaching in Cabrini, I was the teacher of the year. I was the new teacher of the year. Why? Because I knew how to connect with students like me that fell through the cracks. And I was that kid. I wasn't bad in school. I didn't flip desks. I didn't do a lot of things. I was just that kid that fell through the cracks. And then I kept teaching, and I loved my days, and I used to support the kids after school. And then one day, the kids were like at the park district, and I wanted to see them perform. So I went to see them perform, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in now. Everybody know me, everything. And I'm in, and we coming out. Everything's over. I'm about to leave. And I'm like, all right, I'll see y'all later. They was like, all right, Miss H. I was like, okay, see you later. And I'm walking. I said, I can't believe they popping firecrackers this late. This crazy. Why would they be popping firecrackers this late? I'm walking to my car, and all of a sudden a kid jump on me. And I'm like literally, at the time, I didn't know it was a kid, but he jumped on my back, and I'm on the floor. I'm on the ground. And then he starts dragging me. And I'm like, are you seriously? And then I saw his face. Why are you dragging? I'm snapping. I got about that much hood in me, but I used it. I used all of it. Why are you grabbing me? I don't play like that. Don't touch me. That ain't what we do. And he stood there. He looked at me like, fool. Did you hear that? I heard the fireworks. He was like, them gunshots. What you mean? Like, when you say gunshots, what you talking about? Cap, what you talking about? Look out the window, Miss Humphrey. Look out the window. And I looked out, like right there. The guy I was walking in front of was exchanging gunfire with the guy up on the ramp. And I'm literally, he's right here. And I'm walking past him when the kid tackled me. I had never heard gunshots in my life. But I wasn't crying because I never heard gunshots. I was crying because that kid was willing to risk his life for me. I knew I was doing something right in the classroom. Because there's some kids that be like, let her die. Ooh, that mean no homework, let her die. But in the moment, he risked his life for me. I said, oh, I'm doing this thing. Let's go. Because, see, I remember the days when they put kids in my room because they wouldn't do what they were supposed to do. I remember the day when a kid came in my class he had a court order to be in school. And the only room he would sit in and not bother people was my class. But why my class? Because I told him when he came in, I'm not going to bother you. Don't bother me. I ain't going to bother you. And it was clear. It might not be the best tactic, but I wasn't going to play with him. Because, see, he would fight teachers, and he would do all flip desk and act a fool. I said, understand, you will flunk my class if you don't do my work. But you're going to sit in the back and don't bother me. Don't flip a desk, because it's going to be a problem. Now, inside, I was like, geez, please, he can't flip a desk here. Lord, please. I said, you don't flip a desk. I was scared on the inside, but that's okay. He didn't know. He sat back there and slept. And then one day, about 3 weeks later, I said, hey, superintendent, come around. I'm going to need you to sit up today. I need you to sit up and get one of these worksheets. Give me the worksheet. It's like, all right. Gave him the worksheet. He did the worksheet. I looked at it. He got it all right. I was like, we doing geometry. Now, I ain't talking about adding and subtracting. We doing geometry. And I was like, you know what you're doing? He said, loud as you talk. Yeah, I hear you. I was like, really? Really? That's what we on? He was like, I know how to do this stuff. I just don't do it. He said, I make more money than you in the streets every night. I said, got it. You got insurance, though? He was like, insurance? I said, health insurance. He was like, no, you can go down there to the, now when something real happened. He said, I can go to the clinic. Clinic at closing hours. So I started talking to him about real life. And it wasn't necessarily about the curriculum. And sometimes we focus on the curriculum and not the kid too much. And sometimes we're in areas where life is happening outside of the walls of our classroom. And we need to connect. And I hear that you guys do an amazing job at connecting. And see, I done bought deodorant. Not just for myself. But no, I done bought belts. I done bought deodorants. I done bought clothes. And I hear y'all doing that too. And that's when you know that it's not just about the kid matching with the curriculum. It's about the connection. And see, when the connection happens, the correction becomes okay. And it's not a major thing. And kids can take the correction when you've connected with them. And see, I travel the country and I talk to educators about connecting with students that don't look like them. And we immediately go, oh, That's a black teacher teaching a white kid. That's a white teacher teaching a black kid. Because, see, I went in Cabrini, and I was teaching kids that didn't look like me. We had the same skin tone, but, see, my experience was totally different from theirs. You see, I was talking about fireworks. I was lost. I came from the suburbs. They was raised in the hood. So the conversation that they was having at home was different from the one I was having. I remember the day when I told the boy, you know what? You got a parent conference. He looked at me and said, if you see the itch, tell her I'm looking for her. Wait. My mama at home. Where your mama? I ain't say that, but that's what I felt like. And you have those kids. So when you're trying to teach a kid that doesn't have the same exposure or the same experience as you, it has to shift. And as an educator, I think sometimes we can miss the mark and sometimes we can hit the mark. But if we remember that they have a story just like we have one. And when we put those things together, I think we both can succeed. And the school thrives overall. So kept teaching. I moved from Cabrini and I said, you know what? I'm going to move further west. It'll be a little different, right? Because I'm from the suburbs. So I moved further west and I moved to Bellwood. Now I'm teaching in Bellwood and you have a parent conference. You're going to have to call my grandma. Where's your mom? I'm thinking in my head, where's your mom? And he's like, my grandma raised me. My mama left a long time ago. Okay, I'm moved further west because it's going to be a little different. So I went to Aurora. Stayed there about 5-6 years, and I went to Aurora. And I got in Aurora, and I went to apply for a teacher at an alternative school. Now, kids are drawn to me, especially the angels that flap their wings. And they drawn to me it's a gift. So I'm at the alternative school, and I went to apply to be a teacher. And she said, no, I want you to be the principal. I don't understand, because I came in here to apply for a teacher. Now you want me to be the principal? And because it was an alternative school, I could be the principal coordinator. So I became the principal coordinator, and I was in school to get my type 75, my teaching certificate, my administration certificate. And did that, and I'm there, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And I mean, to the point where the year before I worked there was 127 police calls. My year, it was 2. And it should have been 2. Okay, call the police, because he shouldn't have done that. So, but what it was, I cared about the kids. One day I came in and I realized the kids didn't have, their hair was horrible. I had 97 boys and 2 girls. They're in alternative school, they got kicked out. So how did I shift that thing? I called one of my former students from Bellwood. You still got your barber shop? He was like, yeah. I said, what day you close? He was like, Sunday and Monday. I said, give me Monday. He said, all right, give me 2 Mondays. He came out the Mondays before the holiday, and he cut every boy's hair in that school. Moms were crying when they picked up their kids. Crying like, oh, I thought you just going to, because they got permission to cut their hair. But they didn't, like, yeah, you can cut it. Because they felt like I stopped taking him to get his hair cut and buying new clothes because he was acting a fool. But it did something for him. And the kid that couldn't add, we counted Christmas ornaments. And I know we don't celebrate Christmas in schools, but the alternative school we did. But I gave them something that they cared about. It wasn't about the curriculum. It was about the kid. And then one of the teacher's assistants came up to me one day. She said, what you got inside of you is bigger than this. And I'm like, I need to be fired. Like, what you saying? Like, talk to me. And she said, you need to be at a public school to stop the kids from coming to alternative school. Got it. I'm still in school to get my type 75. So I get a call from, it was the alternative school by the Aurora Urban League, the Quad County Urban League in Aurora. And I got the phone call that said, hey, the school district is going to have a minority job fair at the Urban League, and they would love to use your building. I said, okay, fine, let them come over. So the lady came over, and she said, where are the kids? They in class? She said, no, they said this is an alternative school. Where are all the kids? I said, they in class. What's we supposed to do a presentation? I said, I'm sorry, I didn't get an email or something, but I could put it together. Tell me what I need to do. She said, no, let me see the kids. You looking for one? She said, no. What do we do? I took her into class. I said, here you go, here they go. What? She said, I got a job for you. I said, what do you mean? She said, I have a school for you that I want you to come to. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, I'm the HR director from District 204, Indian Prairie School District, and I want you to come and interview for a job. I said, really? I said, that'd be awesome. She said, update your resume and get it to me. I was like, I got one in my bag. She said, who keeps an updated resume in their bag? I said, you just do it. You know, something just come over you. You're like, okay. I'm walking through Walmart. I think, well, we called bond paper back then. But I was like, oh, all right then. They said, brought to my vision. Let me get it. Updated my resume. She said, go on District 204 site, fill out a job application. She said, what's wrong? I said, I did. I already did. She said, print me a copy. It's one in my bag. I literally drove around with this folder. I don't know why. Well, I know why now, but I didn't know why. I kept it with me all the time. And I gave it to her, and she was like, okay. So Minority Job Fair came up. It was great, right? I'm sitting in there. I'm showing everybody around, all these people talking to me, I sent my application in, and they called me out. I walk in for the interview. Every person that kept asking me all those questions was sitting at the table. They called me in for an interview to see which one wanted me because they could not figure out which school to send me to. The best interview is the one you're really not studying and preparing for. You being your natural, authentic self. The best day you could ever have with a student is being your natural and authentic self. I promise you that. I praise Anissa because I've never heard her tell that in public. So for her to feel totally comfortable and transparent with you all to say that she moved in with me, that's amazing to me. That lets me know that she feels really, really good with you all. Hey, I've been knowing her all her life. So it's not like we met when she was in high school. No, I know her all her life. I know I don't look it, but I'm way older than her. Way older than her. But nonetheless, she feels transparent. She's being transparent with you all, and that's amazing. So for me, I'm at this school, and I walk in, and they hired me. And they put in my first year contract, we'll complete Type 75 by January of 2005. I was like, they do that? See, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about the accolades, the hand claps, the buttons, the awards, the mailbox, the signs on the doors. You ain't got to worry about all that stuff. When you do what you're supposed to be doing, you'll be noticed. And see, your motive is not about the administration noticing what you're doing. She didn't even call my name. Did you see that? She didn't call my name. I did more than Kathy. And now she up there giving Kathy something. Don't act like we ain't petty. Don't do it. Educators are the most pettiest people. We'll do it. She'll never, because she always comes to the meetings late. Look at, don't know she got cancer. She in the bathroom throwing up because of chemo, but all you know, she always comes to the meetings late. Every morning she late to work. You ain't even thought about her husband beating on her. He got to drop off 6 kids because there ain't no baby's mamas nowhere. You ain't thought about, we all got stories too. And I found that out about the kids. So when I'm judging this kid, oh, you can't do your homework, but you got on Jordans. You don't know where they came from, but you judging that kid. And you don't know their story. You don't know their story. And I don't know y'all if y'all knew her story or not, but I'm thinking y'all didn't know before she said that part. But that's amazing that she feels that comfortable and what you all have done for her. And I need y'all to do that in y'all classrooms every day. Every day. So let me press forward. So I got the job. And crazy, I might be one person in the world, but I'm going to just say it. I'm going to be transparent. I'm the one person that never read a teacher's contract. Never knew what was in my teacher's contract because I love what I was doing. And I felt like it was just awesome sauce to get paid for it, to have a check coming and I'm doing what I love to do. I love it. So as an alternative principal coordinator, I made $41,000. $41,000. When they hired me, I went to 78,000. Y'all didn't hear me. 41 to 78, and guess what? I still didn't have a degree. When you're amazing, they coming for you. You ain't even got to worry about it. Keep doing what you do. And I'm over here being amazing, right? I'm just doing what I love to do. So when I got to the middle school, and it's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we talking about 1,300 kids. And then they say, you're going to be over discipline. For all 1,300? Every day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Or you like every day? I said, let's get it. Where did the most activity happen? Hallways, cafeteria, right? So I became the queen of the hallway and the queen of the cafeteria. In the hallway, I had a bullhorn. What's his name from the movie with the bull? They started calling me Joe Clark. Because I'd be singing. I'd be having a ball with this bullhorn. They walk by, hey, Stephanie, hey, Stephanie, hey, Stephanie. They would be like, here she go with the bullhorn. But guess what? Stephanie wasn't the one that started a lot of stuff. So I just let Stephanie know I could see Stephanie when she coming down the hall. Stephanie's coming. Hey, Stephanie. Hey. I always call the loudest and the quietest kid. The quietest because I don't know what you're contemplating in your head. See, it can either be to hurt yourself or to hurt me, but either way, I'm going to connect with you. And that's a pretty sweater you got on today. I always connected with kids. Both ends of the spectrum, I just kept connecting. And I'm there. Discipline went down 53% my first year. And I stayed at the school for 15 years. 15 years. And last year, I became the educator of the year. Well, one of the educators of the year for Illinois. And thank you. And I was starting my 29th year. So I retired July 15th, 2019. I just retired. And when I retired, I stepped down literally. So let me say this. I quit my job because you can't retire till you're 55, and I'm not 55. I'm 52. Yeah, y'all was like, what? Yeah. I got a gift for you, girl. She just said, you look good. I promise you I do. So, yeah. So I technically can't pull my money down or do anything until I'm 55. But I walked away from a job because I knew it was time. I needed to go beyond the walls of a school building. See, at first it was beyond the walls of my classroom. Then I went to a building and I needed to be bigger than the alternative school. Then I needed to be bigger than that and I went to the public school. But what I remember was I kept saying, if I touch one and get that one right, he gonna touch 100, she gonna touch. And I just kept doing until I got to the point where it was time. And I retired and I stepped down. So once I stepped down July 7th was when I put in my notice. I said July 15th gonna be my last day. So July 15th came, no, July 7th, July 9th came, phone rang. It's like, hey. Anybody know who Eric Thomas is? Do y'all know? Eric Thomas, E.T., yep, E.T. the hip hop preacher. But he's not really a preacher, but he started out he is a preacher though, but he's in the world, he's known for Eric Thomas. He's the #1 motivational speaker in the world right now. So 2 days after I retired, I got a phone call from his booking assistant that said, hey, I heard you talking about retiring. You still retiring? I was like, yeah, I put my notice in 2 days ago. They said, we need you. I was like, me? They was like, yeah, we need you to join, come on the team and help with different things for Eric when it comes to education. And I became the director of educational affairs 2 days after I stepped down from my job. So when you are just being your amazing, authentic self and you're touching lives and you're helping and connecting, the world is yours. The world is yours. So remember when you wake up in the morning, why you wake up. If you coming to work for your check, quit tomorrow.
Say that.
Matter of fact, I apologize. I said tomorrow, I meant today. Like this your last day. It's all about you today. Yeah. But I'm saying, if you in this for, and I know as educators, we fight hard for a raise. I cannot lie. I never knew how much I made. Like if you ask me, like when I used to go buy a car and they said, what's your annual salary? I was like, okay, if I make this much every 2 weeks, multiply that time. I never worked for the money. I never worked for the money. And I've never read a contract. I was not that person. I didn't need a contract to come in here and teach these babies. It wasn't about the contract. I was at Chicago, when I worked in Chicago, had they went on strike, they would have beat me up. Because I would have went to work. And I know they would have had to convince me, give me the logic, I don't understand it, I don't know, but I was here for the kids. I promise you I was. I went to school when I was younger. One of the worst experiences I had with my parents, I went to school on Dr. King's birthday. Because I want to go to school. Right, I went to school. And they had to really sit me down. I was in 3rd grade, but I loved my teacher. I loved Miss Biggs. And you telling me just to stay home because Dr. King did something and he dead and Miss Biggs right here? I got to go be with Miss Biggs. I went to school, you think they ain't come get me? I was so mad. I wanted to be with Miss Biggs. I love Miss Biggs. And she was my 3rd grade teacher, and to this day, I still talk to Miss Biggs. I go to lunch with Miss Biggs on my birthday every single day, every single year. I feel like it's my birthday every day, what I do for a living. But yeah, every year, I literally go to lunch with Miss Biggs. So what's my time? Am I doing good? 5 minutes? Okay, we can take 5 minutes. Let's go. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. Real quick, I got 5 minutes. All right, so one of the hardest times as a family and in my life, you said no, get out? What'd you say? I'm like, do we run? You got up, girl. I was about to go. You got up, I was leaving too. I'm going to beat you out here. Yeah, no, one of the hardest times in our family, especially for me, was in 2008, we found out that my mom was in kidney failure. She had renal failure. So her kidneys had stopped working. We found out when she was at 14%. And what happened, make sure it's 5 minutes. So I just said, I'm going to take you to the doctor. I'm going to do everything I need to do with you. And every day, she had to go, whatever day she had to go, I was there. I took her to all her appointments. When she started doing dialysis, I made sure. So she moved in with me. She went to a dialysis center next to, very close to my home and my job. And I would take her 4 in the morning, drop her off at dialysis. I would go to work. Then I would leave work, and I would pick her up, take her back to my house for my lunch. And then I would come back and go back to work. I did this for about a year. Never even knew that I was doing it. You know how you do something because it's remote. It's my mama. And I'm doing all this, and she was like, I will not have a transplant. I'm going to die with everything I was sent here with. I don't want somebody else's organ in my body. And I was like, well, I guess I can understand. You never know what other people went through. And I was like, all right, I get it. And matter of fact, for 3 years, I took her back and forth. She did dialysis to the point where she could start driving herself. And they kept saying the dialysis isn't working. She said, I'm not getting a transplant. And then on Mother's Day, 2012, my brother said, why don't you just get on the list? If nothing else, let's just see if your body can take it. Because you have to go through a lot before you just can say, I'm going to get on transplant list. So my brother, and this is my bougie brother, where he's, like I'm not picking up dirt. That's dirty. I'm not picking that up. And he was like, you know which one I'm talking about just by saying that. So he said, why don't you just go on the list? And she was like, you going to give me a kidney? He was like, I sure will. She said, well, let's go. He called me, called the doctor right now before she changed her mind. So I called, made the appointment. So on July 17th, nope, it was June 17th, we went in for the appointment, and my 3 brothers and I, my father had already passed, and 3 brothers, myself, and we're in there with the doctor with my mom, and they're talking to us, and they're telling us all the stuff you have to go through, and I'm like, okay, no worries. And then the doctor said, well, are you all willing to donate? We looking like, yeah. It's our mom. We like, yeah. So they was like, you can't have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high this, high that. They started running it down. My brothers handed back the they was like, yeah, we all got high blood pressure. I was like, I don't have high blood pressure. They was like, really? You ever been sick? Well, I got a cold, They was like, really? I was like, yeah. They was like, all right, so we'll test you. We'll test your blood. So they took 17 tubes of blood. 1 day, 1 sitting, 1 hour, yes. Filled them all up. Yep, I ain't had no blood left. I'm thinking I got to die today because y'all just took it all. So we're driving home from UIC, and we're driving back she lives in Plainfield, and we're driving back. By now, it's about 3 o'clock. The phone rang, and they was like, y'all blood is like almost identical to the point where we had to put it on opposite sides of the room. And I was like, really? They was like, can you come back tomorrow? I sure can. And I took a leave from work because you have to go through a lot of tests. So I'm taking her for her test and for my test and going back and forth every day. And that was, that happened June 17th. And so around June, probably around the 28th, 29th, they come, and I remember it because my birthday, June 29th. So they said, well, one of the tests we gave you was an AIDS test. And we need to talk to you about all of your results. Why you just gonna highlight the AIDS test though? Like, you can give it to me now. I ain't got to come in. No, you need to come in. No, I need to come in. I was like, okay. So I went in by myself because I ain't want, just, because now everybody in the family excited. Oh, I passed another one. Okay, still, because they'll shut you off one test if it comes back negative. So every time I'm like, yes, got that one. They said yes. I was like, ooh. Okay, so she called me in. I go in the next day. I go, and then I'm like, do you remember making an appointment? No, just come. I'm like, oh, God, I know I get AIDS now. She said, just come. She ain't say make an appointment or nothing. Right, I was dying. I was right there. I'm like, me and my mama gonna die. Who gonna die first? So she called me in and I sit down and she was like, your cholesterol. Let me talk about your blood pressure. You gonna get to this HIV test, lady? I'm like, everything you've ever done, I drank after so-and-so. I know that I got AIDS. It was just everything go through your head. And you thinking that a choice that I made years ago can impact me saving my mother's life. Because we at the finish line. And she said, well, your weight, woman, get to the HIV test. And she got to it and she said, you are HIV negative. First of all I heard was, you are HIV. And I was like, and she said negative. I was like, oh, God, yes. So what happened, we started the process June 17th, and I ended up giving my mother a kidney July 26, 2012. So what was amazing about the process is that, do y'all remember how long I told you she was on dialysis? 3 years, right? So all while we was going through the struggle, the turmoil, and all of that, I had everything I needed right inside of me. Guess what? You got everything that those kids need right inside of you to save their lives. And I saved my mother's life. My mother stayed on earth 6 more years. She just passed away in March of 2018. Just passed away. But just imagine if you can make one move that saves a kid's life for the next 6 years. And guess what? On this journey, they'll meet another teacher that saves the next 6 years. So I need you to save 6 for me. I need you to save 6. And you have to sacrifice. Because I could have died on the table. But I never thought about dying. I thought about helping her live. So don't think about dying and what it takes for you to get here. Think about what it takes to help that kid live. Thank you for listening to me today. Thank you. Oh, I didn't give away nothing. Wait a minute. I forgot something. Sorry. On my journey. So I joined, I can't even explain all of that, but my first book, I started writing, and I wrote my story. So my first book was from flunk out to front office. Because literally, I flunked out of college, but I made it to the front office. I got something for you. I do. And here, this is for you. Read my story, girl. Judge me now. Hey. And when you buy more copies, go on Amazon, you go on Kindle, you go on all them right there. Barnes & Noble, all them. The second one I wrote was for little girls. So it's called Wow, Words of Wisdom for Our Little Sister. Anissa has a page in here. Do you remember right when we did that? So it's a book for little girls. And not even little girls, just advice. And we gave advice in different areas. So inside it says self. So it's self-image, education, love, and family. And then when you read, you'll see the person's age that gave the advice. And the oldest person in the book, the youngest person was 19. Her advice, I like looking at her advice, and I look at the oldest person in the book was 100. And her page is like this short. Baby, you ain't got time for that. That's what basically, her page was like, baby, please, like all that you worrying about, And then this one I wrote for educators. And it's 50, it says, don't let them flunk out. It's 50 ways to get connected with your students and stay connected throughout the year. So on my journey, what I realized, I had to get my story out so I can get to what I needed to get to. Because I travel the country and talk to educators all the time. And I'll be back. I don't know when, but I'm telling her I'm coming back. But that's my story that I share that's about me. But then when I also give you content and strategies and structure and things you can use in your classroom, that's when you realize how this can be a fun, even more fun. But I can tell y'all have a good time because I can see kids learning and kids seeing stuff. I walk by, I look at everything. And I love the staff because everyone engaged me when they walked by. No matter how crazy the conversation was, they all engaged me. And that's good. Because if a stranger walks in, you have to be free to talk to them. You have to be. I'm going to start talking again. Y'all gonna be amazed. But thank y'all very much, and I appreciate you guys. They said we're eating.